Hi, I'm D&D.
And I'm Daggerheart.
I've been the world's most popular tabletop role-playing game for 50 years. You roll a d20, add your modifiers, and succeed or fail. It's clean, simple, and perfect. Perfect? I think that's a bit of a stretch. Half the time your players will roll the dice and nothing will happen. Talk about blue balling. Excuse me, but people love the tension of failing. Oh sure, nothing screams fun like a barbarian failing to open a door for 20 consecutive minutes because of bad rolls. What riveting storytelling. But failure builds character. No! Backstory builds character. You're just building resentment. Well fine then, but what's so revolutionary about your system? Duality dice, 2d12s, hope and fear. You always get a result and it's always pushing the story forward. That sounds like participation trophies for dice. No actually, it's called narrative momentum. Ever heard of it? Or are you too busy coming up with more jokes to put in your player's handbook for material components? Well, have you know, people actually like those jokes. Look, you do math homework with friends, and I tell stories where even failure can be interesting. Now, you tell me which one's more exciting for a game night. This is going to be a long video. So how do you do combat? Very simply, once combat starts, you roll a d20 and add your initiative modifier, and then you simply go from highest to lowest and rinse and repeat from there. Wow. You run fights like you're herding cattle. It's called structure. People like to know when they can act. Or, and just hear me out on this, you could just talk to one another. You know, like normal human beings. Excuse me, but combat's meant to be tactical. Positioning, turns, reactions. And yet somehow a goblin fight still lasts for 3 hours. That's because every move matters. You plan, optimize, and weigh up your options. Yeah, because nothing says adventure like listening to Dave narrate for 15 minutes if he wants to move 5 feet to the left or right. That's what strategy is. No, that's analysis paralysis. I let scenes flow naturally. No grids, no waiting 30 minutes until your turn. A little thing called collaborative storytelling. Collaborative storytelling? It doesn't even sound like you have rules. Oh, I have rules. They just don't feel like filing taxes. Fine, but at least I know when initiative's rolling, everyone knows their place and it runs like clockwork. More like a line at the DMV. Look, it's okay to be a spreadsheet. I'm a conversation. He actually thinks he's better than me. I know I'm better than him. Well, how about character creation, the heart of the game? You pick a species, a class, roll for your stats, consult a few tables, and after an hour or two, you've got a playable character. Hours? That's cute. Mine only takes 20 minutes. Cards for ancestry, community, class, done. 20 minutes? That's not character creation, that's a BuzzFeed quiz. Well, at least I don't need a calculator and 3 YouTube tutorials to make a level 1 wizard. Hey, depth takes time. You build a foundation and that's how you get nuance. Oh right, because nothing screams nuance like rolling a 7 for your charisma and being cursed to permanently play Shrek. Dump stats build character. No, they build trauma. Look, my players earn the status of being heroes. They sweat over every single choice to know their builds inside and out. And my players actually get to play the game before the pizza arrives. Complicated systems give freedom. You can be anything. Yeah, if you can survive the player's handbook. I'm intuitive, tactile, and you actually get to hold your character in your hand, not buried on page 347. Oh sure, look at him. He thinks his cards make him sleek and modern. I don't think that. I know that they do. I disagree with that. I'm sorry, who are you? I like the cut of this guy's jib. I'm just a friendly neighborhood sponsor here to tell you everything about Lord Budrick's Tome of Tombs, a 5th edition source book for D&D. I'm gonna sit this one out. Don't worry, I'll keep it short. Picture this. You've journeyed an incredible distance with the horizon stretching endlessly ahead, and suddenly your character notices something unusual at the corner of their eye, and as you quietly signal the party to halt, everyone freezes. Hands tighten around weapons, breath catches in anticipation of the next words, but instead of the dreaded roll for initiative, nothing happens. Because this is no random monster. This is something much more sinister. Well, what was it then? It could be one of many things, but I can't ruin all the surprises. You'll just have to find out for yourself. Lord Budrick's Tome of Tombs provides small, self-contained and unique locations for players to encounter during travel. It has 9 micro-dungeons, each the final resting place of someone of renown who is now long forgotten. Each of these tombs introduce new NPCs, monsters or wondrous items, plus hooks you can weave into your campaign. And they're non-specific to any setting and incredibly easy to implement into a campaign with minimal effort or prep time. And where's all of your compatible source books, eh Daggerheart? Well there you go, you're finally winning something. So if you want to check it out for yourself, click on the link in my description and happy adventuring. Shall we get back to our conversation? Indeed. In my world, success is simple. You roll high, you succeed. You roll low, you fail. End of story. Yeah, and then everyone awkwardly stares at the GM as they try and narrate you missing for the 5th time sound exciting. That's called tension. That's called dead air. See, when I roll for things, I don't just get success or failures, I also generate hope or fear tokens. Hope, which goes to the players so they can empower them and boost themselves to do more cool things, or fear, which goes to the GM to make things more complicated. So your dice give you coupons? More like ammo. Hope lets the players do cooler things later, whereas fear allows the GM to make the world feel more alive and dangerous. Great, so now your dice are conspiring against you. At least my dice don't just say nope and slam the door shut on the story. Fail with hope and you still move forward. Succeed with fear and something bad also goes along with that success. That's drama. Drama is rolling a nat 20 and decapitating a bandit in one swing. Or rolling well but seeing your GM cackle because now they've got fear to unleash on you at a later point in time. That's not drama, that's punishment. No, that's storytelling. Stakes, consequences, tension, you know, all the stuff that Critical Role fans pretend they're getting when they're playing with you. Leave my players out of this. They won't be his players for too much longer. Well, what about when your characters die? What about it? Well, in D&D, when you reduce to 0 hit points, it's time for death saves. So you roll a d20, and on 3 successes, you return to life, and on 3 fails, you're permanently dead. Yeah, we have death saves as an option as well. And what do you mean by option? Well, you can roll for your life, or you could opt to go out in a blaze of glory, giving you another action to do something, but you will die afterwards. Or alternatively to all of that, you can opt to avoid death altogether and just go with a permanent scar or consequence. Well, I actually kind of like that. Yeah, it just naturally makes sense to give the players the autonomy to decide on what happens in that situation, and it should have the ability of being cinematic. Yeah, but not everyone needs to be Aragon on their deathbed, and not everyone needs to be the equivalent of a potato flipping coins on the ground. Hey, some of us like potatoes. Yes, but to eat. He's impossible. I'm inevitable. My game is precise. Tactical combat, optimized builds, layers of strategy. You plan everything, every spell, every feat, every tiny bonus. Translation, your players spend the entire night doing calculations and doing a big dick swinging competition on who has the highest modifier. Dude, strategy is fun. It's satisfying to see your carefully crafted build actually succeed. Fun or exhausting? My players dive in immediately and there's minimal calculations and no need for spreadsheets, just decisions that progress the story forward. But depth matters. Players love mastering complex systems. Depth is great, but accessibility matters too. I want my players to feel like heroes immediately, not after they get a PhD in dice math. And where exactly is the tension if everything's story first? Right here in the cards, or the narrative twists. There's no need for 15-minute breaks to set up a combat encounter to establish that. So basically you're saying you make it fun by removing all the choices that actually make it interesting? No, I make it playable and fun. You can optimize, theorize, and min-max all you want, or you can actually just play. Some of us actually enjoy suffering for mastery. And full credit to you, because some of us don't. Look, I get it. You're flashy, you've got cards and Matt Mercer, and I'm sure plenty of other things that I've completely ignored, and it's all neat. And you're predictable, reliable, spreadsheet-tacular, and classic, I guess. And when compared to you, the heroes I build are complex, complicated, and precise. And I build heroes that actually feel like they're in a story. You could say we're different. That's an understatement. But maybe there's some common ground. Yeah, like we both let our players escape their real lives for a fleeting moment and be heroes. And everyone needs that every once in a while. So what do you say? Clean slate? Are we cool? Yeah, we're cool. Awesome, because all that really matters at the end of the day is that our players are enjoying playing our independent systems. And somehow, some people find being a coin-flipping potato fun, so good for them, I guess. I'm gonna kill him.